So, in the wee hours of Saturday morning, we got a technical update on the servers from BSG. They tweeted about it. It didn't look like any big deal, but I'm assuming it led to this list of changes that we now have on the game, which is the Halloween event. If you're new to Tarkov or within the last year and you haven't been around for one of these before, basically you get a bunch of scavs running around with different Halloween masks, including the pumpkin head mask, which is pretty fun because you get this glowy looky thing that comes out. You can put it on. It acts as armor, so you can kind of tank some headshots with it from like shotguns and some of the pistol rounds and stuff, because I think it's only class 2 or class 1. It doesn't screw with your vision at all, but you have this big glowy thing out in front of you that's the shape of the eyes and the face of the jack-o'-lantern. We got changes to bosses and cultists. So Tagilla can now be found on all maps. He's everywhere. So you run into him. You might run into him and cultists at the same time, which would be horrifying. Honestly, I'm going to go look for him. Killa can be found on labs and factory now. So kind of like the post-wipe event last time, Killa's running around. And cultist spawn rate has been increased across their traditional maps, which is woods, shoreline, and customs. But they can now spawn on all maps. So you can see them in reserve. You can see them in, I guess, factory. They've got 100% spawn rate. And shoreline, they sound like they're in the resort now, actually, and not just over at the spine where they were before. So cultists everywhere, part of the Halloween event. On top of this, we have some changes to some of the items in the game. The A2607 knives, the bars, the brown one and the Damascus one, they have the cultist poison on them now. So be careful of that. Players might be running around trying to stab you with these. I don't know if scavs are going to do it that have them, but on top of cultists, now you have these knives with the poison. And we've also had a huge change to the food. So anything that's kind of like candy-ish or treat-ish, I guess, there are buffs on them now. The best one, it looks like to me so far, is sugar. Basically anything that has to do with your combat stats, you know, health, endurance, resistance, strength, all of that gets a +2 buff, plus a 50% weight limit increase. This makes it the same as a mule. Mule does the same thing, except this doesn't hurt you like the mule does, and gives you a bunch of extra bonus benefits. Now, condensed milk benefits are +5 instead of +2, but the weight limit's only 30%. Slickers has +5. The stats are all a little different. You got perception on the Ameliorai, and chocolate's kind of like in the middle. It's got +5, but not as good on the stamina, things like that. So chocolate, candy, good buffs. You fucking super buffed inside raid now, any of these. Now this has made them a lot more expensive. Slickers went from like 8,000 to like 13 to 14,000, and these will probably continue to get more expensive. So maybe something to craft. The Ameliorais have pushed 13, 14,000. Mostly, I think, because of the sugar barter. Not so much because people are using it, but because you can do the barter with Jaeger for sugar. And then chocolate, of course, has gotten really expensive as well. And I think on top of that is because now you have to use a chocolate bar to extract on the vehicle on like customs or interchange, the vehicle extract. Those require a chocolate bar now, not a money. And to tie in with this, scavs are coming to trick-or-treat at your hideout, by the way, which you have a fancy decorated hideout with everything. We'll look at that in a second, but I want to go in here and show you the how that changes, how kind of cool it is. So you see nothing's in here changed. When you come in and change back to your Halloween, you get creepy sounds and then all sorts of crazy decorations. I won't ruin it for you. I'll let you run around. Make sure you go look at the TV. There's a special thing on the TV here, so make sure you come and look at that. But at the Scav Case, you now have condensed milk, Slickers, sugar, and chocolate for turn-ins for the Scav Case. Now, I've only seen a couple of these guys on... So we'll see what condensed milk is here in a sec. I've seen a couple posts from other people in the Discord about what they're getting, but they're getting things like ACEs, OFZ shells, streamer items, high-ticket items. So we're not going to get enough to test this, but it looks like the candy drops are worthwhile doing right now for me. 14,000, 15,000 to run a Scav Case for an hour seems like a pretty good deal. That's all I'm going to run because it's fun and you don't get to do this all the time. I'm not going to miss out on much by not doing my moonshine. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. So on top of this, there is going to be an event tomorrow, October 31st, 11 p.m. MSK. So that's going to be 4 p.m. New York time, East Coast time, 9 p.m. London time, and 7 a.m. on the 1st in Australia, Sydney time, or Pacific, wherever time zone over there for you folks on that side of the planet. The event is supposed to happen in raid, so he wants you in raid at that time. So if you're interested in doing that, or you want to partake in that event, that's where you need to be. Is actually in raid for that event to occur. I'm gonna try to be there. We'll see. I got kids to take trick-or-treating, so I might not be. We will hopefully be able to experience. If not, I'll just watch along with everybody else to experience that. With that, you're all caught up for today. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in Tarkov.